Let me start this one off with a question. How much money do you think studios pay in marketing for AAA video games? Just the first number that comes into your head. Most of you are probably thinking $1 million, maybe $2 million. But for a huge release, I'm talking a Game of the Year contender, marketing budgets are typically closer to $100 to $200 million, oftentimes multiple times more expensive than developing the game in the first place. The effects of good marketing can't be overstated, as it effectively guarantees that the games that studios want to sell millions of copies of will get out there and there is no chance of it flopping. But when we start to talk about independent studios, ones that may just be a small team working on a project and trying to get their name out there may not be any marketing done at all. This gap demonstrates the importance of content creators on Twitch, YouTube, and every other platform where you could find gaming content, and how we can see even greater successes from a handful of people playing games they enjoy in their bedroom than from hundreds of data analysts, marketers, and millions of dollars working to get the name out there for months. There are a handful of examples of streamers and YouTubers bringing popularity to games that otherwise wouldn't get much attention, but none are as apparent as what we've seen with Among Us over the last few months. Released in 2018, Among Us saw peak player counts of less than 30 for its first few months after it was put on Steam. That's not even enough for 3 full lobbies at its peak popularity, and the developers at Inner Sloth had all but given up on it and began working on its sequel. But 2 years later, player counts began to climb. The game's popularity had been slowly growing during this time frame, but with just a handful of streamers starting to play Among Us, namely Admiral Bulldog, Teos Game, and Sodapoppin, among others, the game's popularity exploded. Its average player count shot up from just over 2,000 in July of 2020 to almost 19,000 in August of the same year, and then to over 150,000 a month later. This all started with no payments, no advertisements, and no communication between the game developers and the streamers. It was just the content creators being recommended the game, trying it out, and showing their audience just how fun it could be to betray your friends over and over. In less than 3 months, the average monthly player count grew by 7,100%, not even including all the mobile players, and it was all because of a marketing concept known as earned media. Earned media and its counterpart paid media are the two biggest ways that word spreads regarding games. As you can probably tell from the name, paid media is exposure that is paid for, like we see with AAA gaming titles like commercials, billboards, internet adverts, and sponsored posts on social media. Earned media, on the other hand, is the spread with no monetary incentive. Things like streamers playing a game, or YouTube videos being released, or your friends telling you about how sick this game is and how you just have to try it. Those are considered earned media. It is a reflection of the quality of the product, and this is the kind of advertisement that money literally cannot buy. Consumers aren't stupid. They know that a sponsored stream or promoted post usually only exists because the content creator is being paid to put it there, and they will judge the merits of the product accordingly. This is the reason that having a large streamer willingly play your game is like hitting the jackpot for a game developer. It may not get the product out to as many eyes as paying $100 million for a TV commercial every 10 minutes, but those who do see it will view this form of exposure as a more valid representation of interest in the game. And streamers providing earned media have another advantage over paid media that is a little bit more abstract. Streamers and YouTubers talk. Not just Discord DMs about how they're going to move to Texas, but they'll talk about content, or they'll look to others around them to see what's doing well and what isn't in order to stay ahead of the curve. This is a reason that earned media creates a snowball effect. One content creator streams a game or makes a YouTube video and it does better than normal, and then someone who makes similar content to them decides it looks like fun and could be good for them too, so they give it a shot. And this creates a ripple effect throughout the Twitch universe until suddenly everyone has played the game that started off with no marketing budget at all. This is what happened to Among Us, and it's why it went from a tiny game with double-digit peak player counts to a game with over 1 billion unique players in 2020, earning it the title of the most popular game ever in terms of monthly players. This isn't restricted to games that nobody had ever heard of either. The same thing happened to Rust recently, with private servers from streamers driving the game back into the public eye, and the same thing happens with Minecraft when it goes through its cycle of dormancy and rebirth every few years. Streamers may not have brought these games back from the brink of death like they did with Among Us, but it remains true that their popularity grows all over again because viewers think it looks fun or get new ideas for ways to play them. Earned media isn't a one-time deal like paid media either. as new people could find the game or return to it later in its lifespan, which can create repeated spikes throughout the existence of the product, which you just don't get when you're only paying for advertisements just as the game is releasing. As long as the game is fun and worth people's time, it will have the opportunity to blow up, but it wouldn't be able to do that without all of the streamers and content creators across the internet taking their time to show it off to their viewers. I guess the biggest takeaway from this should be, just because you don't see advertisements everywhere for a game doesn't mean it's bad, and sometimes the most valuable marketing is the kind that money can't buy. The gaming industry has changed immensely in the last decade or so, and it's no longer about who has the flashiest centerfold in Game Informer magazine, but it's about the streamers who have become a mainstay in ensuring a game is successful. And even games that seem like they flopped will always have a chance to become the most popular game in the world if the right people think it's fun or interesting. That's all I have for you now though. Be sure to subscribe if you like the content. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you later.